Good morning. It's March 4th, and yesterday I had 8 eggs and about maybe half a stick of butter along with chorizo. And I was only able to eat about 20 chicken wings with Frank's Red Hot, and I make my own ranch out of cream and some spices. And then I had a Mexican sweetbread. Yeah. But that didn't give me more than 20 grams of carbs, so I'm not super fired up about it. Although it did probably give me a little extra water weight. We did take a long walk again. I think it was around 3 or 4 miles down a river that we have near our house. So I weighed in this morning at 86.7 kilos, about 191 pounds. All right, so there you have it. I'm around 190, anywhere to 195, back down to maybe 188. It fluctuates, and it's going to. But it's never where I was, and I'm never like emaciated or anything. So, topic today: all plants are mostly undigestible, and that which is digestible turns to sugar. All right. So let's talk a little bit about plants today. Fiber. It's irrelevant. Please get it out of your head. Here's what they claim: you need the fiber so that your bacteria in your colon can eat it and flourish and feed your cells of your colon. Well, actually, we get those fed from the other side because we eat essentially the ketones, butyric acid, which is what these bacteria make on the, I think they call it the lumen side. And then the enteric side, I think, is the side from underneath where our body actually meets the colon. All right, we get plenty of butyric acid from the other side for those cells. So you don't need it from your fiber. As a matter of fact, it's going to cause gas and bloating. So let's just ignore fiber. The rest of it's going to be water and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are just long chains of, yes, glucose, you're right. And when people say, oh, it's a complex carb, no. The minute it hits the amylase in your saliva, you start breaking that stuff down into sugar. So that's what plants are. They're sugar, water, and indigestible or undigestible cellulose. And any of the proteins or amino acids that they might have are not exactly bioavailable. And they're only as good as the minerals in the ground from which the plants were grown. So when people say, oh, it has all these vitamins and minerals, well, depends on the soil. But because of our monocropping, we don't have too many minerals in the soil anymore. They may fortify the soil with what? Man-made synthetic minerals? Please help me. In the ancient times, I remember the old surf times, we used to have a rule of threes. We leave one land fallow. We'd leave land for cattle and sheep to graze on, and then we'd have a parcel of land to grow veg, and then we just rotate those out. And what would happen is the grass that grew, the cows or sheep would eat it. They would go ahead and eject their waste and re-fertilize the ground, and then that was planted the next year and then left fallow in order to just give the ground a break, and then in come the animals again. So it would be animal, plants, and then fallow ground. Now that was only since the about 10,000, 15,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution. So what do you want to do? Eat meat. Now, the meat obviously is only as good as the veg that it fed on based on what the soil had in it. But if you're dealing with a regenerative farmer, he knows that his cows are always eating good grass because all of the quote-unquote waste, the CO2, methane, and all that stuff, guys, that comes out in the poop and goes back. I don't know if you remember, but I remember when I was little, people used to buy fertilizer, and it wasn't brought to you by all right? It was actually cow manure, and you'd crack that bag open and for the next couple of weeks. Oh yeah, your neighbors loved you as you fertilized your grass. With what? Not chemicals. No, back in the day we used cow puckies. All right? And that grass was green, thick, and lush. All right? Unfortunately, there was nothing to eat it, so the grass eventually winds up choking itself out. And then weeds get in there, and you have to, hit it with some brand name round. And that has a lot of nasty stuff in it. So there you have it. Why eat plants? Eat meat. And eggs are a powerhouse, especially the yolks, in all the vitamins and minerals and fatty ADEK, all your fatty vitamins there. And there's a lot of B vitamins floating around in all the meats, all that's necessary, so don't worry about it. Well, there you have it. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Be well.